Hello, good morning. Dear distinguished committee fellow researchers and audience. In this lovely morning, I would like to present my paper entitled Integration of Supply Management System in Auto Parts Company Using Web Services. This research is motivated because that there are gaps between the data from various software, so that it can be resolved using the RESTful API web service technology. Before starting the presentation, first of all, I would like to say thank you for being given the opportunity for me to present my paper even though we have a pandemic situation. I would hope that the situation will be over soon and we can meet all together. In this presentation, we will divide into 4 segments. The first one is the introduction, and we will continue to research methods, result and discussion. Finally, we will discuss the conclusion. So I hope you guys enjoy my presentation and let me know if there's any feedback. Web services are included in today's web technology, which is being widely presented to provide universal services. The web service concept provides message interoperability and data exchange interface. It seems simple, but web service require a standalone connectivity or complex transaction chain to deal within terms of security, reliability, version, and industrial activity. The need for industrial activities that can apply the concept of web service is one of them. In terms of supply system, requirement of supply system can be stated in a system that supports interaction between several different applications through the network by utilizing information technology based on web service. However, special research that is focused on managing supply is currently very minimal. Even though this is an important matter with a high degree of urgency because it requires a service that can manage data between websites so that data integration occurs. This paper aims to integrate data from 3 software applications into a unified system that is taken directly from the server and accessed by clients through web services. To support this research, a case study has been prepared using data parameters for auto parts distributors and workshops. The design of an auto parts supply management system involves a REST server and a REST client using the RESTful standard HTTP method, which is method POST for creating data, get to showing data, put to edit data, and delete to deleting data. Methods, data integration design architecture. The design phase of data integration in one database is the process of establishing input and output parameter for each service. This stage explains what data specifications are used. Next, methods, access API data. The API is designed to be a RESTful web service. At this stage, it explains the web service description, language specification, and API URL design. To create a RESTful web service, the HTTP method used must comply with standards including get, post, put, and delete. Move on to web service specification description language. This stage is the design resulting from the service interface that then implemented in the form of WSDL, which aims to design the service interface format that is built. Web service description language. Add order service interface. Add order is a service to show edit orders by the workshop. Service interface see order status is a service to show how the web service responds to requests from workshop or distributors. Service interface see parts details is a service from the web service to show information related to selected parts and appear in the parameters of parts such as the ID of the auto parts, the names of the parts, pictures of the parts, etc. Details of these parts appear in an array. Service interface see auto parts stock supply is a service to show information related to auto parts. Service interface see auto parts stock supply is a service to show information related to auto parts stock supply that appears in the form of arrays. Auto parts supply parameters such as auto parts ID, spare parts stock, price of auto parts, etc. Move on to list of URL API design. The stage of accessing API application programming interface methods provided by the RESTful API. A regular URL address is used to make it easier for others to use. These URLs are called endpoints. Every user accessing the RESTful API has been registered as a user through the built-in REST server, which will then get an API key to access all the services available in the RESTful API through the REST client. We have come to the most important parts of this presentation, the results and discussion. Let's check it out. Next, results and discussion web service. In this research, web service is built with a REST service associated with each object in question, including services for distributors and workshop in coordinating business process, which are described in architecture. Web service architecture in this case studies, there are three main entities, namely service requester or client, service provider or web service, and service registry or service provider. Web service serves to provide services and process a registry so that these services can be available or accessed. The registry service provider functions as a central location that describes all the service needs in the form of an API. Service requester is a service requester who seeks and finds needed service and uses the service. Results of testing data integration on the REST server using Postman succeeded in showing that the response of data received was by the database. And here is a Postman test with code script. Move on to results and discussion. Execution time measurement. The results of the access speed and output accuracy test performed on the REST server API data distributor trial with get 100 data resulted in a total execution time of 457 milliseconds. Total data received 60.24 kilobyte and total data response of 260 milliseconds. The post data method produced a total execution time of 1522 milliseconds. Total data received 1.45 kilobyte and total data response of 1426 milliseconds. The puts method produced 475 milliseconds of total execution time, 62 bytes of total data received, and 362 bytes of total data received, and 358 milliseconds of total data response. And the delete data method produced a total execution time of 1882 milliseconds. Total data received is 0 byte and total data response is 7055 milliseconds. Here are the results of the measurement test system response time using the RESTful API method using Newman. Next, on to conclusion. This research presents integrated information and data that can be operated by the other platforms based on RESTful web service architecture. Tests conducted using the Postman and Newman application in this study with 4 trial phases obtained results of data response speeds less than 2000 milliseconds with a total data received 18.31 kilobyte, and these figures indicate that RESTful web service is feasible to implement. It is demonstrated by the fast data execution, the consumption of memory resources that are not large enough, and its good performance. In this study, we also hope to contribute with a more in-depth analysis scalabilities of the quality attribute RESTful web service. For further research, this technology can be developed from the aspect of user authorization and URL transparency to improve security. Thank you very much for watching my presentation. It has been an honor for us to be able to participate and do the presentation. Hope you guys enjoy it and get more the information of my presentation about using web services. And let me know if there's any feedback. So, stay safe, stay healthy, until we meet again. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.